I strongly suggest you carry a basic first aid kit with you. You can buy these pretty much anywhere. And whatever you do, do not pack it where it's locked away. Don't pack it in the bottom of your pannier. Don't pack it anywhere where it's in any way difficult to get to. For example, when we're riding in Europe on beauty, we keep our first aid kit in the tank bag, just in the bottom of the tank bag, but it's pretty easy for anyone to find if they need to, and easy for us to get to. What you don't want is, if your bike is having a little lie down, for example, you don't want it packed in a spot where you can't get at it. Hey adventurer, I'm Bridget Hallam from Throw Your Leg Over, and today we're talking about packing, one of my favourite subjects, in particular packing for easy access. So if you have ever stopped on the side of the road or somewhere really inconvenient, looking for something, opening every bag on your motorbike and still not finding that thing that you need, this episode is for you. Also, if you'd just like to be really organised, I think you're going to enjoy this one. By the end of this episode, you'll have a really clear plan of where you can pack things on your bike for easy access. And I'm going to throw in a hot tip at the end as well for you. And I'm talking here whether you are packing for just a day ride. It might be a cheeky weekender, or you might be planning a longer adventure. This episode is for you whether you ride with panniers or not. What we're really looking at is how to pack strategically instead of just kind of chucking everything in. And the first thing that you'll need to do is just kind of think about what you'll need during a typical riding day and separate in your mind or even physically in front of you those things that you will need often and the things that you might need quickly at some point, perhaps, maybe, but you'll need them quickly. And this will also show you the things that you don't need to access. This is just as important. The things that you don't need to access easily during the day. And I'm thinking things there like camping gear, most of your clothing, toiletries, that kind of thing. There's not a chance really at all that you're going to need them in the middle of the day by the side of the road. So what you don't need easy access to, you can just carve off to the side, and there are a couple of other episodes where I talk about those. If you want to listen to episode 3, Packing for Your Weekend Adventures, that one's got some good tips in it for you. Episode 8 is talking about 3 packing mistakes that people often do that you do not want to do. And if you're thinking about a longer adventure, take a listen to episode 25, where I talk about what we pack for our 2-up Europe adventures. So today I'm going to talk about 3 things. What you need often, packing the things that you know that you're going to need often during the day, packing the things that you might need during the day, and emergency items. So let's start with the things that you know that you're going to need during the day, pretty much every time that you stop. And these are things like your phone, your wallet. If it's hot, that might include a cap and sunglasses, maybe even sunscreen. It might be period products, lip balm. When you're sorting through your things and you've got your pile of things that you want easy access to every time you stop, or pretty much every time you stop, think also about something just to keep them all together so they're not rolling around everywhere and getting lost. You want to feel organised. You want to be able to know exactly where your things are that you need, and you don't want to have to be digging down deep into a top box or a tank bag or a crash bar bag to try and find it. You want to know exactly where these things are, so it's easy to grab and go. And thankfully most of these things are pretty small, so they will fit in a smallish bag. For me at the moment, I'm using a bum bag, and I sling that across my body when I'm riding pillion. Alan uses a small backpack, and he just kind of rolls that up and puts it in his tank bag. And the other thing that you might want to consider is the things to actually keep on your person permanently, in your jacket pockets, in your pants pockets, that kind of thing. I keep things in my pockets like tissues. They come in handy in surprising ways. So I would add that to your list if they are not already on your list. If I'm riding pillion, I will keep my handheld camera in my jacket pocket. So there are things that I pack on me in my gear, and there are things that I pack in my bum bag, my grab and go bum bag. The second thing to think about are the things that you might need to access during the day. First thing that comes to my mind here is rain gear. The last thing you want to do is to be stuck on the side of the road like we have done in the past, rolling my eyes at myself here, where we've been stuck on the side of the road. The rain's coming very quickly, the rain's coming down, the rain is getting very heavy, and you're still trying to get your rain gear out and get it on. And it's all very awkward, and it's all very wet. So rain gear is the number one thing here that I would say keep it in a place where you have easy access to it. Other things that you might want to have easy access to, again, number 2 on my list is always snacks. Snacks are important. Snacks will save the day, no doubt. If you're held up or you just don't know where the next cafe or bakery is for a snack, bringing your own snacks is just the best idea. And along with that, of course, is having a drink bottle. Drink bottles are absolutely crucial, especially if you're riding in hot weather. Having a drink bottle, an insulated drink bottle, even better. Having a drink bottle is super important, and of course you want easy access to that when you need it. Other things that you might need are spare gloves. If the weather's a bit changeable, a bit unpredictable, I sometimes carry my spare gloves. So if I'm wearing summer gloves, for example, I'll carry my winter gloves and vice versa. Summer gloves are obviously more comfortable and not as bulky, so they're preferable, but if it might get really cold, I do want to have my winter gloves within easy reach, and I don't want to be digging down to the bottom of my pannier to find them. Something else that you might want to think about is a spare warm layer, a spare base layer, maybe a merino top or something. Again, if the weather is changeable, you don't want to be rifling through your pannier trying to find that. If you can have that easily at hand, that would save you some hassle. Now, for these things that you might need to access quickly and easily, my suggestion, and this is pretty straightforward, is to pack them either in your tank bag or your top box or your crash bar bags if you have those. Maybe have a think about whether it's something that you would like to lock away or not. And also for your water bottle, perhaps consider if you want to get an actual water bottle holder. We have Lone Rider water bottle holders, and they are strapped onto our crash bar bags, and they are excellent, I must say. So far we've got the things that you know that you're going to need during the day, or it's very likely that you're going to need them during the day, and you've got them in a bag of some sort, a bum bag, a thigh bag, a backpack, something like that, and or packed in your gear, your jacket or your pants. You've got your things that you might need to access during the day, and you've got them packed in your top box or your tank bag or your crush bar bag. The third thing I would invite you to consider are emergency items. First and foremost, a first aid kit. I strongly suggest you carry a basic first aid kit with you. You can buy these pretty much anywhere. And whatever you do, do not pack it where it's locked away. Don't pack it in the bottom of your pannier. Don't pack it anywhere where it's in any way difficult to get to. For example, when we're riding in Europe, on Beauty, we keep our first aid kit in the tank bag, just in the bottom of the tank bag, but it's pretty easy for anyone to find if they need to, and easy for us to get to. What you don't want is If your bike is having a little lie down, for example, you don't want it packed in a spot where you can't get at it. Same thing for medicines, actually. If you're carrying medicines with you, especially medicines that maybe someone else might need to fish around and find for you, keep them somewhere where they're easily visible, easily accessible, and even better, label them really clearly. So if someone's trying to help you, then it's easy for them to do that. The second thing in terms of emergency items for you to consider, obviously, are tools for your bike. Your motorbike might already have a dedicated space with its own toolkit sort of clicked in under the seat, for example. If you don't have this, or maybe you want to carry a few extra tools, then again, pack it somewhere where you should be able to access it pretty easily if your bike is having a little lie down. Don't make it hard for yourself. A little extra tip here: if you are riding overseas, you're going to have a few extra things packed, like your passport, your motorbike documents, your insurance, your registration, those sort of things if you've got your own bike in another country, but definitely your passport. Keep your passport on your person. Keep it in your jacket and or your pants, preferably in a waterproof pocket if your equipment has that. We have heard stories. A friend of a friend had an incident where he came off his bike. It wasn't a serious accident, but he was blacked out for a minute or so. And when he came to, someone was going through the gear on his bike looking for, obviously, valuables. So keep those super important things on your person if you can. So we've run through the things that you're going to need often during the day, pretty much every time you stop. We've run through the things that you might need to access during the day, and they're the things that you're going to want to access quickly and easily. And we've run through some emergency items if there is an incident of some sort. My biggest tip for you when you're packing for easy access is to give everything a home. Give every item a home, a place where it lives. And the reason for this is so that you know where everything is. You don't have to go searching for something when you're tired, when you're cold, you're wet, or you're stressed. Just make it easy for yourself, as easy as possible for yourself. Keep them in the same place every time you ride. The flip side of that is that your packing will evolve. You'll never have the perfect setup. How you pack, what you pack will evolve. So if you find that something's not working for you, or you find a really cool bit of kit, adapt your packing. Don't think that you're going to get it perfect, because you won't. Let your packing evolve as you have more adventures and more experience, and maybe slightly different gear depending on what you've got, where you're going and what you need. If you would like our packing list, the packing list that we use for all our adventures when we're packing for a weekender or a week or longer, jump onto our website, throwyourlegover.com.au, or go into the show notes and I have put the link in there for you and you can just click on it. But you can download that packing list for free. It's interactive. You tick things off as you pack them, and it's super easy to use. So I hope that's helped you. I hope that's helped you with some peace of mind and some confidence that you can pack what you need, where you need it, so that you can access everything easily and quickly. I would love you to subscribe to the podcast. I would love you to leave a review. And if you have a riding buddy who you think might enjoy the podcast, please do share this episode with her or share the podcast with her. That would be amazing. And I will see you next week.